Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. All right. What's up, y'all? We're back. Today we got another co-commentator. This is my buddy Lawyer, and we're going to be talking about Superman movie and why it came out at like a really good time. He's going to be providing his input on that with my occasional commentary. So hopefully you guys have been doing good. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed your week up until now. And here's Lawyer, if you want to introduce yourself or anything.
All right, hey, what's up, guys? Like he said, my name's Lawyer, and I just want to talk about the Superman movie and why I think it came out at a great time. Just to introduce myself, fuck.
You're good.
My
You're
bad.
good. You're good.
All right,
You're good.
all right. You're gonna cut
Just
like
be-
the section, right?
No. Just be natural.
All right, but yeah. So today I just want to talk about Superman in general. Just I'll try not to go over any spoilers, just in case people don't somehow not see this movie already. But the reason why I wanted to say this movie came out at a perfect time, it tends to see like our generation, Generation Z, that we don't really have that much hope for the future. Like you can even tell with our memes, right? Like you look at a meme, it's not like okay, 2050 is going to be great. So I'm like, oh, the AI apocalypse. Or some other crazy thing gonna happen, or World War III. Well, like we don't have positive memes, right? And with the things like The Boys and other, like even like My Hero, for the most part, they criticize heroism, right? There's like the and even like when you talked about like the Snyder cut for like Justice League, you get a lot of criticism when it comes to heroes and people just not being able to be just a good person, just be able to do good deeds and call it a day. It has to be criticized under the lens of they're doing it for profit, they're doing it for some other means other than just to be kind, right? And I understand, in the real world, you get that mix of people, but it's not to the degree to where like there are corporate heroes, right? We don't have corporate heroes in our world. Like I understand like people say Mr. Beast and stuff like that, but I wouldn't call him a hero. I would say he does good deeds, but I wouldn't call him a hero. But when it comes to like Superman, they went over like it's a more positive superhero, right? So instead of Superman being like Zack Snyder, where he's just like, I'm going to aura farm while saving a lady, I'm going to aura farm when I see a dude in a wheelchair blow up.
Well, I actually
He
didn't mind
actually-
Henry Cavill Superman. Actually,
I
kinda
like
prefer-
Henry Cavill
I kinda
Superman.
prefer-
Hear me out. I like Henry Cavill Superman when it came down to his like Man of Steel, but when it came to him versus Batman, that was not a good Superman. Like it's so dull, and it's just like Superman is supposed to like make you like his whole thing is hope, right? His whole thing is hope and kindness. So to have a Superman that actually shows that, and the thing is they got two things right. Like they got both things right. They got him and Lex correct, right? The thing with Lex is he's a human with no humanity. He's a psychopath, basically. Sociopath. You can look up just once the right definition of what Lex specifically is. But either way, he does not have humanity. He does not wake up and think, hey, how can I make society better? How can I make the people around me smile? He thinks of only himself and everyone else as an object. And when you actually have the actual parallels where it's just like, okay, Superman, he is an alien, but he embodies humanity perfectly, of wanting to help each other. And then I think the best part about it was the people in the city, how they viewed Superman, seeing that there's a dude who literally all he does is serve food. That's all he does. Like, no offense to anyone who does that, but like that's all he can do. And him just giving Superman food from time to time, that makes his day. That's his version of showing kindness and just showing how Superman doesn't just like, I sit up here, saved everyone, look at me. It's like, no, he inspires other people to be nice to each other. And those people, when they're nice to each other, they don't just say, well, I can't save everyone from a star explosion or something. No, if I can do anything little, they'll do it. And I think that's the perfect. I think that's like a perfect movie to come out in 2025 when everyone's trying to be stingy as far as like, it's not stingy, but it's like people don't want to work together. And I understand the risk because people don't trust each other, and there's legitimate reasons why not to trust each other.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, by no means am I like a movie analytic or however you say it, but I do appreciate like how in the movie they did make him like more, and it kind of sucks, right? Because in the movie I feel like they made him, in order to represent that pure goodness, even though he is still flawed, but the way that they showed that was making him come off as naive, right? In my opinion, right? Yeah. Where it's like, okay, why would you interfere in this and why would you interfere in that? Okay, because I have the power to, and people were going to die, like people were going to get hurt. Or like in the one scene, and okay, minor spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, I ain't gonna try to drop nothing too crazy, but like in the one scene, like where Lois is talking to the Justice Gang or whatever, and she finds out that they also know his like identity, and she's like, why does he trust everyone, right? And it kind of just goes to show like how being a good and trusting person is just perceived as being naive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I agree.
But I can disagree a little bit on the conflict one, because I think it was doing something more on that one. Because when it came to that, okay, spoiler too, but there's a conflict in the movie, and of course you'll hear about everyone talking about Israel-Palestine. I'm skipping over that. I'm skipping over the main part where I'm seeing it from. So the thing that kills me is that it emphasizes that it does not have to be that complicated. Because again, when it comes to like political conflicts and that's all complicated. The main thing Superman says is people were going to die. What do you want me to do? I'm a kind person. I want to do the right thing. And regardless of what's going on in the government, I think the better option than having these conflicts is to make sure people don't die. Yeah, they can hash it out some other way, but they're not going to do it with people's lives on the line. Because nothing is worth people's lives. And I think I like that more than the lowest rebuttal, which was there's a blah blah, you can affect this, and it's just like, no, at the end of the day, no conflict is worth people's lives. No, none. And I was like, that's a powerful message that I can mess with. That's why I was like, I love Superman as a hero when you actually write him correctly. That's why I was so glad when James Gunn wrote him, because it's just like, why in the world does it have to be so complicated in the future? Again, we're in the future, so again, Superman came out like 100 years ago, I think. Like, not 100 years ago, but he came out like he's an old superhero. Like, he's like an American superhero. Like, he's been there for a while. Yeah, so like for a hero to be this old and be able to go through complex themes, and all he needed was one person to write him correctly, because everyone's with the boys type heroes and stuff like that. And I understand the boys, they're starting to slowly do stuff with like A-Train and stuff like that, so like they get that heroism back. But like, I think stuff like the boys kind of makes everyone want to be suspicious of everything, to the point to where like being genuinely kind is just not something people want to do, because it's always something to look for. That's why I was like, I like Superman movies so much, because it's just like, no, these things do not have to be complicated. You can just be nice. And it's like, you don't have to be kind in a way of like, oh yeah, I have to do great gestures, but it's like, oh, I see some trash on the ground, I picked it up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like how he's talking about, oh, like we could have maybe put it in like a big zoo, or figured out how to euthanize that one creature in the movie, like a less painful way, for sure. But I do have to give, like, granted, I don't know like the full lore of the boys. I've barely watched it.
The TV show is completely different. Not completely different, but it's very different than the comics. So I can only speak for the TV show. Like, for the TV show, which even still, I only know about the memes. Like, I haven't watched the boys fully. I'm not fully caught up at all. The only thing I know about is the memes, but I'm pretty sure that, like, to give credit where credit is due, which I wouldn't even know if that's the right way to put that, is that Homelander did grow up. He did not grow up in the most ideal, nurturing environment.
And again,
Yeah, he's supposed to parallel a child actor.
And again, like they showed like minor spoilers, but whenever that one scene or that one scene where Superman's like with his parents and all that stuff like that, like it kind of showed how he's grounded. And even then, with even again more spoilers. Sorry if you haven't watched the movie yet, but with like you have the two contrasts where the video from his parents, the video from his real parents gets deciphered, and apparently it's something bad, right? He's never heard the full video, and then apparently the full video, Lex deciphers the full video, and it's like, we want you to conquer this place or whatever. And then you have that contrast to like what his earthly parents wanted him to do, like, and that's just to like be a good person. Like they just raise him to be a good person. They tell him that he can make his own decisions and to just go with things the way he wants to go with them.
Yeah, but that's the thing about DC in general. Like DC has the morality of like, because even when you go to like heroes like Plastic Man, it's just like, regardless of what your upbringing is, regardless of how bad your life has been, try to do the right thing, because going down this path is not going to be rewarding. Like, I hope that James Gunn at some point does a Killer Croc movie or even a TV show just to build up to why Killer Croc's the way he is, because it contrasts The Boys so much, because The Boys is like, okay, care about yourself. Like most of the heroes, the reason they're so bad is because they care about themselves so much. Like Homelander is a great example of this. Like, I understand like he was manipulated, so you got the child actor thing where it's like, we want you to do this, we are going to socially manipulate you to do this and this, and always want attention, and if you don't get the attention, you're going to be a crazy maniac. So I understand why they write them the way they do, but it's just the fact that it's like, in The Boys, no one's really like there is like, they really like to do there is no good guy, there is no like good
true
person
good
and it,
guy,
yeah, like there's no true good person. Like, again, you can say Huey, but they try to ruin Huey. The goal, like, I feel like I don't feel like, but the goal of Huey in The Boys is to slowly get to Butcher. It's to slowly bring him down to Butcher. And it's just like, I understand why that writing it is. And again, I like The Boys, but just to have something that goes back to like, hey guys, we can go back to having a timeline where we want society to be good, right? Because I remember when I was a kid, the goal for society was not, well, we're gonna basically enforce that everyone's gonna eventually be bad, or everyone might steal. Like, the goal, at least for America, was at some point get to where like we're like these other countries where they have like trust systems, right? You know, like how they have the what's those things, the little libraries, where they have the little libraries in the thing, and anyone can pick up a book and return it.
Oh,
like, get to the point where we can, yeah. So like the goal of society at that point was that. So like I was watching it as a kid, I'm like, okay, eventually everyone's just gonna want to be kind to each other, right? That's what we were trying to grow towards. And it just felt like as I got older and we started getting these different shows and stuff, the regular heroes and stuff, that started getting thrown out. This is like, okay, we got to go back to this, what's the worst thing that can happen type mentality. And it's just like, I understand there are bad people in this world, yeah, but the goal is for us to all come together at some point. So I like the fact that we're bringing back these symbols of like kindness, peace, and stuff like that. Because like, I don't like the fact that like it feels like sometimes that like we're losing empathy, and empathy is such an important skill. Like, it's like the thing that kills me is like, empathy is the reason why we are where we are, why society is where we are. So it's just like to see people like slowly degrading that, it's just like, ugh. Because like, that's what I was like, because like, I remember when I was like, whenever they was talking about Snyder and he's just talking about his Justice League, and he's just like, well, actually Batman would use a gun, actually Superman would do this, and it's just like, no, they wouldn't do these things. And I was like, because Snyder, I'm like, you've never seen animated Batman, like the animated series on Batman. And I think the best Batman scene to me will always be that Ace one. Have you ever seen the Ace Batman scene?
From the animated series?
Yeah. If not, I can describe it real quick.
Yeah, I might have, but you just gotta like just describe it.
Either way, so this is like a clip. It's a flashback for Terry. That Waller's giving a basically on why she genetically engineered Terry to be the future Batman, right? Yeah. And the thing is about this is the fact that like what happens is that Ace is some type of like psychic basically, and she's dying, so she can alter reality in any type of way. So she has altered all these different civilians into these different villains and stuff, and then made like this cool little castle, whatever, right? And basically she's having a meltdown. She's about to die. So these people are gonna be stuck. There's gonna be like a black hole or something that's gonna happen if she dies, and she needs to be killed, right? So Justice League pulls up, and Batman is there, and a few other people are there, and they tell them, nah. Batman's like, nah, I'll take it. Waller, give me the weapon. Waller's just like, I'll give you a weapon, but you know you have to break your no kill rule, right?
Yeah.
And Batman's like, yeah. And again, I would say watch it because it's, I'm telling you, it might get a tear out of you if you watch it. But so he sit up here, pulls up to the little girl and everything, and the little girl's like, I've read your mind. I know all the pain you went through, and I know you weren't going to do it because you have no kill rule. And the thing that makes it so good for me is just the fact that Batman knew as soon as he took the weapon from Waller, he wasn't going to use it.
Yeah.
And the thing is also is the fact that's like she saw him want to save people, or despite what happened to him. That's another reason why she chose to listen to him and sit down with him. Again, she's mad because she got her childhood taken from her, and she's still, no, I'll fix it because this man has went through all of this and still decides to help people. And that's the thing. That's why I was like, I always like DC's message more than I will Marvel's, more than I will any of these other superhero shows, just because of the fact it's just like, I feel like in this society we tend like get like in, even when it comes to like Dexter and stuff like that, like whenever there are like people who are in that moral gray or that moral bad area, but we have like the audience is basically being told through the story to root for them, we tend to give them just like a, well, something bad happened to you, so that's justified, right?
Yeah, I haven't really watched Dexter, but yeah.
But it's just like one of those things where like we tend to just give that like, yeah, here's a free pass to be a horrible person. But DC just says, nah, like even if there is something bad that happened to you, you can always turn around. Like Plastic Man used to be a villain. He used to steal stuff, rob banks and everything else. And literally Justice League was like, hey, like I understand you think that all you're good for is stealing and robbing, but you could be a hero. You could be a good guy, and it'll feel 100 times better. And that's why I was just like, I want to talk about this because it just feels like it's a shine. Like, it's like this Superman movie is just a good movie. It's just like a good movie to bring hope and everything to people.
Yeah.
And it's just bringing back that type of heroism. You don't have to aura farm the cape.
Okay.
You could just be a good
Henry
person.
Cavill Superman was still solid. Aura farming included. Come on.
No, I'm not even talking about Henry Cavill. I'm talking about like Iron Man, the Avengers, stuff like that. Because again, in Iron Man and the Avengers and stuff like that, like Iron Man specifically, his first movie's great. But it's just like the Avengers, they don't really learn. And I understand it's because Kevin Feige has no clue what to do when it comes to like mapping out a storyline. But like, they don't learn from anything. Like, it kind of sucked because they're like, okay, Iron Man, you don't need a global satellite thing to be watching the Earth. And then they get attacked by Thanos. And it's just like, y'all keep saying things that just don't matter. Like, all these builds up, these consequences, and they just don't matter. Versus DC, which is like most of their things have consequences. When Flash goes back in time, we get Flashpoint storyline. When Superman breaks his code of just not being kind and stuff, we get Injustice.
I mean,
when
and
Batman,
I'm sure that there's stuff like that.
there's stuff like that in Marvel, but like Marvel is a lot faster just to be like, well, you had something bad happen to you, so all that stuff is justified. They don't like Hulk storylines are the Hulk and Thor storylines are the only ones who really get like hit for doing stupid stuff. Like when Hulk does something bad, you can actually see his storyline, his depression and everything else. Like you can actually go through his stuff. But that's just like Hulk, I can mess with his storyline because it's useful. Like it'll be useful in this current era of the male loneliness and stuff like that. Like getting the Hulk story correct would be useful. But it's just like there's a lot of stories that get told that aren't useful. If it's a copy and paste of another hero that had deeper lore, then don't make a movie for it. But you get a lot of that right now where like that's why like Marvel is just so boring, because it's like you get a lot of copy and paste heroes. That's why I was like, when it came to Ironheart and stuff like that, and they're like, bro, why is no one watching Ironheart? It's like, it's not like, if she was more of like, they got to talk more about like women's issues, but in a serious way, then it would be good, right? Okay, this is a woman that's making Ironheart suit and everything, and everyone thinks she's like Iron Man and blah blah. These are different. Like, if they actually had to have that conversation of like her getting into someone's boots, but actually being a little bit different because she's doing something completely different. Because Ironheart doesn't have a military contract like Tony did. Yeah. So they got into stuff like that. That would be great. Of them trying to abuse her because Tony knew from the get-go, I'm rich, I can make these military contracts be fine. But her, on the other hand, she's not rich or anything else. So having something like that would be useful. But it's like they didn't do any of that. They didn't do anything fun with her. So that's why I was like, I don't like these copy and paste heroes because they don't really do anything. It's like Arrow originally whenever Batman came out. It's just like, well, when you have someone like Batman where something crazy happened to his parents and stuff, and him going through, do I want to be a good guy? Do I want to break my code this time? Is this person really a bad person? That's what I used to like the animated series for Batman so much, because like there was one scene where he was just like, Robin, which one's the villain? And it's actually the scientist lady, not the actual villain that they're defeating. Exactly. I'm like, okay, we can have like, because again, DC likes to have those actual conversations. Who's the actual villain? Now, Marvel, it tends to be with X-Men more than anything else when they want to have actual conversations. But
no, I get you. Yeah, like I definitely get you. But then again, I feel like also that's just comes down to the adaptation and who's adapting it, and which is why it's important for us to just, well, not for us, right? But it's important for whoever is making these shows, these movies, these whichever, you know, however they decide to adapt a character, is that they're not only doing it well, but they're sticking like close to the source material, right? Because in order for these things to get adapted, in order for there to even be a vision to make money off of these things, there has to be a fan base who loves it and who's willing to pay for it. And yeah, you have those people like who, you know, aren't really as interested, and they'll just watch the movie for the sake of like watching the new movie that came out. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's what I do half the time. Like I don't really read, or I haven't really read some of these stories, so I don't really know what the original source material is. And so for the general public, like it just relies on, or we rely on just the director to actually have good intentions and know what he's doing, besides just a cash grab whenever he's trying to adapt these beloved characters that, you know, people like you and other people have already read and have already known how things should be. Not only just for a better movie, but to, you know, please the people who even made the thought process of this becoming an idea possible. So, yeah.
like, I don't have problems with them not like doing the source material exactly. Like I'll break the cloth a little bit with that, but it's just like certain decisions you need to know, like again, as a director, they should know basic writing techniques just to understand like, okay, this is why this scene was in here. Because they'll remove scenes that are important and then add scenes that make no sense or just do not add to anything. That's like, I forgot what that what the law is actually called, but basically it's saying if you show a gun in Act 1, in Act 2 it should go off, right? And it's just saying like just don't add any stuff just to add it, right? Like a lot of the Marvel movies, we got a lot of things just added, like, oh my gosh, they have like a cameo to this person. So it's just like you're watching the movie, now you're looking at the movie for cameos and stuff, and it's just like, was that really needed? Because in every movie, that's what like James Gunn was talking about. He's like, basically all my after what's those cutscenes called? The scenes after the movie ends.
Post credit scenes.
Yeah. He was like, all my post credit scenes are just gonna be like haha funnies. Like they're not gonna be, this is the next movie that's coming out. Because he's like, basically every time you added something like that, now you have to have that exact actor or have that exact whatever is going on in the next movie, or it's just a random fall off, right? So that's just my thing. Like, it's just like, I don't have an issue with them doing any of this stuff, but it's just like, you have to have a reason for doing it, and it has to make sense. But yeah, that's about it. Because I just wanted to say that because it's like, I really like the Superman movie, and I really hope they continue with the rest of the DC universe like this.
Yeah.
And Marvel kind of just falling off. It's just like, it's good to see something like DC come back, because like, I'm not gonna lie, as a DC fan, it felt bad being in Dark Ages.
They did, and again, like a lot of people are just gonna, or a lot of producers or whatever, are just gonna like ride off of what's doing well, and we can clearly see by everything that just was coming out at that time that, you know, people were leaning more towards like the more edgy side of things. Of like, oh, okay, like what if this dude was, like you said, a villain, and what if they just decided to embrace these negative aspects of themselves, or just these negative mindsets, instead of, you know, just being like real heroes. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's that. That was Lawyers. Okay, hold on, I'll work this. So that was just Lawyers' view on why the Superman movie came out at a really good time. We're 27 minutes in. Do you got anything else you want to say, Laura? To like end off?
To end it off, I just want to say I hope everyone's having a great day. And you find a little hope in your life.
All right, cool. All right, and those are good words to end it off with too. So, all right, this is officially, or Lawyer is officially the second co-commentator to be on here. So, again, looking forward to more people coming on here. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this. Please let me and him know, like, if you have any thoughts. If you agreed or disagreed with any of Lawyer's takes or my takes, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Y'all take it easy.